Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I'm CJ Mellon, joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton, and Josh Burns is here now.
Yes, and I don't have any computer issues.
So we miss you, Josh, and I'm glad that you're going to be sticking around for tonight.
Yeah, I had my iMac had issues. I'm getting it fixed. I'm working on it. I'm recording on my MacBook Pro. Everything's fine.
It's the worst. We're in the middle of it, and Josh was just like cutting in and out, and he sounded like he was what was
Max
that?
Headroom. It was Max Headroom. Max. It was awesome.
I was like, oh yeah, well, let's do the simple IT fix, which is turn it off and turn it back on again. That'll clearly fix any problems.
Josh sent me into a death spiral with your recommendation.
Josh turns on his laptop. I was like, so I'm stuck at a loading screen for an hour and a half. I think you're going to have to go on without me. So, sorry.
It was that way till the following morning.
Leave water.
Did not
be here.
All right, so I want to go ahead and just let everybody know, just like we always do, we are not going to be spoiling Star Wars The Last Jedi. You have a week to see it, and then we will talk about
Although it was a baseballs.
So just know that we're not doing that. But I do want to take...
Oh, so good.
I do want to take a moment.
My red lightsaber was fully grown.
Let me tell you this. My brother is down in D.C., and he went with his girlfriend to go see the movie. And they're in the theaters, and for 3 hours, they could not get any of the screens to play the Star Wars movie.
I read an article, the same issue happened in Burbank, and a mini riot broke out.
It was pretty much a nerd riot. They were given like 6 passes, and then they actually got to see the movie at the end. It was just, oh my God. So nerd riots all over the country.
How long were they
apparently.
in the theater, CJ?
They were in there for 3 hours, and the movie's about 2.5. So
almost 6 hours.
Almost 6 hours in the theater.
Yep.
That's
Did they waste time with trailers and shit?
I think they did too. So it's probably 7.
We can't play the movie, so you're going to have to watch these commercials for the next 3 hours.
It's the Sprite commercial over and over again.
Just play on the Jungle Gym for a little bit. We'll be fine.
No, that's not gonna
It's like fully grown man on the Jungle Gym at that point.
And meanwhile, someone's compound chicken is leaking through their purse. My God.
Gross.
Got food everywhere.
They've refilled their cup that they've had for 6 weeks, like 16 times.
I've run out of these to drape over.
They're
my
living
cup.
off of freaking popcorn and butter.
They're trading it. Hey man, you got any of that butter? Yeah.
You
got any Sour Patch Kids?
It's like the milk duds that are currency.
Oh, it's the milk duds.
Oh yeah.
We've let this bit go on for far too long.
So we're going to start today's show by looking at some of the news in movies and television. So we're going to be going screen to screen.
So there was a survey that was taken that showed that people like Jar Jar Binks more than Kylo Ren. I'm sorry, I can't say that seriously. How can that be true?
Hang on one second. Wait. Am I not watching these movies correctly? I thought Kylo Ren was Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, that's just mean.
See, I can't talk about this because I just saw the new movie and you just said spoilers.
I mean, this is the part, right, where obviously we can't talk about the other movie.
Hang on here. Spoilers. Jar Jar Binks is Kylo Ren. The entire time.
Fake spoilers.
That whole thing about him being Han's son, it's not true. That's not a real spoiler.
So the survey was basically just asking what's the favorability of Star Wars characters, and they found that the classic Star Wars characters beat out the new Star Wars characters. But the fact that in the ranking here, Jar Jar Binks is 2 slots ahead of Kylo Ren. Jar Jar Binks has an approval rating essentially of 37%, and Kylo Ren has a percentage of 32%.
Kylo Ren is like the characteristically, he's the embodiment of Hayden Christensen's portrayal of Anakin.
But it's the thing of like with character. The mask. But it's like with the mask on, right? And wearing that, he's a freaking badass. But as soon as he takes
the mask off, man, I'm going, oh my God, could you be more emo? You couldn't? Have you cut yourself today? No, good for you. There's always tomorrow.
I would like to reflect that Brian Roman, I was a friend of the show, Brian Roman, saw our topic list ahead of time, and his girlfriend, who apparently works within the field of statistics and political polling, said, okay, these online surveys are just utter crap. The margin of error is basically 95%. 95% margin of error.
Now, listen, when you throw out numbers like 95% margin of error, normally I will call shenanigans, but I happen to buy into this person's credibility and will not call shenanigans on essentially a total margin of error.
So she said she gets offended when anyone tries to mix her career, which is politics and polling, with Star Wars, and do not believe this poll. So I take solace in that, knowing that this is a crappy survey and that Jar Jar Binks is not ahead of Kylo Ren.
I think the same 7-year-old just took the poll like 16,000 times.
It's not only that, but like, when you say like they like him more, that doesn't mean he's a better character. It doesn't mean he's more important to the story. It's just fun to hear him go.
He is more important to the story.
He's the emperor because he's the emperor.
He's the one who puts Palpatine in power. I'm not joking.
I know it's true. He does cast the deciding vote. He breaks I get it.
He's an idiot.
So listen, take some solace that the world is not.
You better be looking at that poll a little bit closely.
So take some solace in the fact that Jar Jar Binks really isn't that much more favorable than Kylo Ren. All right, 95% margin of error. I think we can dismiss that.
I love Kylo Ren. For the record,
I like him a lot.
I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's great. And when you see this new movie, you'll agree with me.
Anyway,
all of you.
This is something This is something I'm really interested in hearing your opinion on because I think we all are fans of Quentin Tarantino. And if you're not a fan of Quentin Tarantino, I think we need to send you to some kind of camp where we can like fix that. Like, I don't know.
I feel like you guys aren't really fans of Quentin Tarantino.
What are you talking about?
With everybody, I have issues with him, but I like him. I am a fan. I will call myself a fan of his.
All right.
I'm absolutely a fan. What? Wait. No, you can't just gloss by that. What constitutes a fan?
Because with the last couple movies, you kind of meh.
Brian went and saw Hateful Eight in like the 8mm.
Yeah,
I'm aware, but when we talked about it, Brian,
I loved Hateful Eight. What are you talking about?
I don't recall you being astonished by it.
I loved it. I said it was freaking Reservoir Dogs meets a Western, which was awesome.
I agree with you. I apparently completely forgot that was your opinion because I don't recall ever hearing that from you.
That was indeed my opinion. I highly enjoy 90%.
Between Hateful Eight, Django, and Inglourious Bastards, those are fucking masterpieces.
Yeah,
all of
movies.
Them. The only Quentin Tarantino movie I actually do not like is Jackie Brown. Other than that, I love all of his stuff.
Yeah, all right. I can. Yeah, all right. Fair enough.
Well, apparently, guys, you need to set your phasers to motherfucker because Quentin Tarantino could be directing a Star Trek movie. I'm curious about that.
Klingon, motherfucker, do you speak it? I can't take credit for that joke. I heard it on a Kevin Smith podcast.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good.
I did read about this, and I thought, yeah, all the yes.
Well, walk me through this. How is this rumor started? Like, what's the seed behind this?
It's not even a rumor. So the way I read the story, and I've read a couple stories on this, is Quentin Tarantino and J.J. Abrams were like talking, and Quentin Tarantino was like, I would love to direct a Star Trek movie. To which J.J. Abrams said, get this man a writer's room. Let's get this working.
And here's why, right? Quentin Tarantino said, JJ, been forever. Come over to my house. Let's screen a couple things that I've done. Come on over, right? He gave him the coffee, and he says it's good coffee. He says, I know it's fucking good coffee. I buy the coffee. I know it's good coffee. But when they go into the screening room, it's just Quentin Tarantino with a GoPro filming J.J. Abrams while he slept for a year.
What the fuck?
So now J.J. Abrams has to give him a movie.
So you're saying Quentin's blackmailing.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Took me a minute to track with that. I appreciate the clarification.
I was unaware that J.J. Abrams slept. I just thought
if someone brought you into their screening room and showed you clips of you sleeping every night for a year, what would you do?
I'd get that man a writer's room.
Get that man a writer's room. Then you're Quentin Tarantino's a Star Trek movie. But I don't think he's gonna go, full on Tarantino on a Star Trek movie.
Do you go full Tarantino or do you stay true to that?
No.
You stay within the genre, and I think we've seen a lot of that from directors recently. I mean, there's a lot to pay tribute to, and I think Tarantino can do that creatively and also integrate some of his, nuances. I think probably you ratchet the music up a notch and whatnot, but like
Right.
we have all the same characters. It's going to be a great story, whatever it is, and it's going to be brilliant.
So, I mean, Abrams definitely made sure that the music was a little more modern for Star Trek. But I mean, you said that we've seen other examples of this. Can you think of one? Can you give me one where something like this has happened?
Yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween is
right on.
Is absolutely true to the genre, but totally a Rob Zombie flick, right? And I know that's a stretch. I'm having a block about like huge blockbuster because I'm not sure it happens all that often. But
Right.
J.J. Abrams has done quite a bit of crossover, and we've seen a lot of the same stuff in the in like the DC TV universe. What
Right.
Berlanti has done in modernizing these characters, but really being true to the genre.
Yeah, and I guess you're true. Yeah, even Abrams changes his tone and directing style depending on the franchise that he's in. He brings his flair to it, literally pun intended. But he also just makes sure that he's respectful of the actual source material.
Right.
Come on, that was awesome.
That
was an accidental one.
The flare. Yes. Is there, Brian? Is there something I missed, or do you disagree with the zombie analogy?
No. I think it's a great example. I think there's been plenty of examples of directors who have like kind of their own offbeat style that go into a genre or an already established universe and play within the confines of that universe. You're not going to see, what you're used to seeing in a Tarantino movie out of a Tarantino Star Trek. But Tarantino's also done this before. He's directed some TV and stuff like that too. So I think this is just him saying, I want to play with some other, toys in the sandbox.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily need to just create my own.
Yeah, and when you're looking at Tarantino, he's a true fan of this stuff. So it's not just a guy who's out to make a quick buck and have his name thrown up on a marquee for a popular franchise. He actually likes it. Brian, this next topic, I feel if I say these words in a particular order, Josh is going to think I'm having a stroke. So I need your help with translating this. So Ryan Reynolds will play Pikachu in a live-action Pokemon movie.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu.
He's going to play Detective Pikachu. Now, here's Detective Pikachu for all of you going, what the hell are you talking about? Detective Pikachu was a video game released in Japan, and Japan only, in 2016, where you play as a regular kid walking around trying to solve mysteries, only you're also accompanied by Pikachu, who can now talk and wears a Sherlock Holmes hat.
The Japanese are fucking weird. And very little of what comes out of that country should be adapted over here. It just shouldn't be. This is
to steal just for a moment for the great Ralph Garman. What the fuck, Japan?
The Japanese are weird and everything, but I'm all on board for a Pokemon movie. I just am not on board for this movie.
They say that it's going to be motion capture in nature, so they're think Andy Serkis with Gollum, but Ryan Reynolds and Pikachu.
Yeah, but the difference is Gollum at the end of the day, like he's humanoid. Like Pikachu's a giant mouse.
As we discussed, Pikachu talked in that Pokemon movie.
Pikachu's his precious.
I don't care. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It sounds like Ryan Reynolds was totally drunk at a party. So it was like, hey, you should play Pikachu the detective. He's like, yeah, that sounds great. Next week, it's like, here's the contract. What the fuck is this? Oh, dude, I totally thought you were joking. I thought we were just doing a Deadpool thing. We're not doing a Deadpool thing? This is actually happening?
Did you see the Pikachu dressed up as Deadpool picture?
No.
Oh, it's pretty solid. I'll have to show it to you sometime.
Since we're also talking about Ryan Reynolds with the acquisition between Disney and 21st Century Fox becoming almost official. We got one more step. Ryan Reynolds tweeted out a picture of Deadpool being escorted out of Disney World by a cop going, I guess he can't blow the Matterhorn. Just, the man knows what's happening, and he's just going to...
And the nice thing is that Disney has already said that, hey, listen, we're not going to screw with the formula. This works. We're going to keep it rated R. And this might actually open up the doors to see maybe some other rated R Marvel properties.
I was really shocked by that.
Well, Logan was rated R.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how many rated R Disney, even Umbrella things do you see? I mean, Grey's Anatomy is the most like
Here's the thing.
risque thing I've seen on
Everybody
ABC.
gets so worried when this stuff happens. Like, everybody was freaking out when Disney bought Marvel and be like, oh, I better not see Mickey Mouse hanging out with Iron Man, bull crap. And then they said, listen, we're just going to let them do what they do. We're just going to let them.
I don't want to gloss over the fact that CJ just admitted to watching Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, no,
I didn't. I said it's the most risque thing on ABC.
And you also would know that because you watch it weekly.
Sure, if that's what you need to
that's
sleep.
I get it. You watch it every week.
And listen, I didn't mean to talk a whole bunch about this Disney Fox thing, but I did see.
Why not? This is like one of the greatest things ever.
I saw a fantastic meme of Mickey Mouse photoshopped onto Thanos' head, and the Infinity Gauntlet is the logos of Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and the Avengers as like the Infinity Gems.
Did you see the one where like the next frame is him beating the shit out of Iron Man, which Iron Man has the DC logo on his face?
So here's what I saw. What I saw was that Disney announced it had reached a deal to acquire 21st Century Fox as predicted by a Simpsons episode that first aired November 8th, 1998.
Yep.
Right? And then following that, I saw a picture Disney acquiring 21st Century Fox circa 2017. It's basically just a picture of Goofy restraining Homer while Mickey beats him up, and Bart is in the background wearing Mickey ears.
Jesus. That deal went through for $51.2, I believe, billion.
And it's probably worth every single penny.
Still has to go through some more
They'll make it back really easy.
Absolutely. I mean, like, really easily. I think faster than the Star Wars $4 billion. Yeah, absolutely.
You'll put all the most popular movie franchise together under one roof. That's a big deal.
It'll be. You know what, though? Talking about Marvel and things going forward and all the prospects, I want to talk about the world of comics, how it's affecting TV, how it's affecting movies, but most of all, how it's affecting Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk.
So building on the momentum here of Marvel, two big pieces of news came out for Marvel when it comes to Netflix. The Punisher has been renewed for season 2. Now,
yes,
with all the difficulties that we suffered with computer glitches and scheduling, we didn't get to really talk about the Punisher. So I'm just curious what you guys thought about season 1. Real quick, just some high level thoughts.
Second in the entire chain to Daredevil season 1.
Oh wow!
All right, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was everything the Punisher needs to be. It was violent. It was brutal. It was depressing. Like, you were upset watching that show, but that's what that character has to be, and it was great.
Yeah, I agree. It was actually really difficult to binge watch it just due to the subject matter and just how well executed
yeah, like after
it was.
like episode 4, I was like, I'm like fucking depressed. I need to take a break.
I did. I took a break for a couple days, just to decompress, because
I've watched it three times. I watched it 3 times. The series.
Of course you did.
Wow. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely well executed, and I love just what you said. It fits so well into the Netflix universe.
Listen, honestly, I had no complaints. Not a single complaint about this series.
And the way that season ended, it is set up perfectly for season 2 with spoilers with Billy Russo and everything that happened with him. I mean, comic book fans know that he becomes Jigsaw, who is a huge big bad for Punisher. And dude, Ben Barnes, he is freaking awesome. Like, yeah. Between this and Westworld, like, I'm like, Prince Caspian, like, why'd you even bother with that? He's so good as a villain. He's so likable, but I hate him so much.
Yep.
So absolutely, so excited for more Punisher on Netflix. Just keep that coming. Can we film season 2 quick? I want that now. Well,
that's okay. We got Jessica Jones season 2 coming out too.
That's right. They announced that on March 8th. Season 2 is coming out. Oh, I hear grumbles from Josh.
The groans from Joshua.
Oh God, it was the first one was so hard to get through.
Oh, you sad man.
It was so hard to get through. Like, I tried watching it a second time and I could not finish it. It's not great.
You make me sad, Josh. Why do you hate me?
It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
It was good, though. Listen, I can give you it wasn't great, but it was good. It's better than other things that are on Netflix right now.
I'd take Luke Cage over Jessica Jones.
Oh. Why do you hurt me when I show you nothing but love? Brian, this next topic is catered specifically to you because DC has decided to do a little bit of a shakeup and change its release slate.
A little bit of a shakeup?
Okay, so it's a lot of bit of a shakeup.
It's a lot of a bit of shakeup.
So there was
not even about their just release date. Like they've shook up, everything's shaked up. It's all shaken.
It was shake and bake, and I helped. There was a Comic-Con Experience 2017 in Brazil. There was a panel that basically went over what was going to be released for the next slate of Warner Brothers DC films. And the order is Wonder Woman 2, Aquaman, Flashpoint, Justice League Dark, Suicide Squad 2, Shazam, Batgirl, Green Lantern Corps, and The Batman. I'm noticing that there is no Justice League 2. And also, where is Cyborg?
They're gone.
What's going on?
Justice League did not make nearly enough money and did not do nearly as well as they hoped it would. So they decided to change things.
What comes after Flashpoint?
Justice League Dark.
Isn't that Justice League 2?
Different set of team members.
Isn't it an animated one?
It is an animated one, but the Justice League Dark, Josh, is the team that handles all the supernatural stuff. Like, it's got Constantine, it's got Zatanna, it's got Swamp Thing. Like, it's not the
same. Not the same. Okay,
right. But they also they did some employment changes as well. Did you read that?
I did, but can you walk me through it, please? Because I don't know who these people are.
So John Berg, who was the main producer on a lot of these films, decided, quote unquote, to leave the DCEU. He's still going to be working with their Regency faction, which did he had some involvement in the new It movie. So he's going to be working on the sequel to It and things like that. But he's no longer in charge of the DCEU. Jeff Johns, as much as I love him, is no longer as involved as he used to be. He's going to be more of a consultant. And Zack Snyder will not be directing any other DC projects.
Woohoo!
So they got
I jumped for joy when I read that one. But the other part too is this really kind of quelled some rumors that Batgirl and Green Lantern were being canceled because that was up on the chopping block apparently, and I'm glad to see that they're still sticking around.
No, I mean DC just hasn't found what works. Their niche. They haven't figured it out yet, and they're going through some growing pains. And I'm sure they realized they rushed this process, and it has yielded not so good results. Like, all in all, Justice League will make its money back. It's already $568 million worldwide.
Yeah.
But it has yet to catch up to Thor, which came out 2 weeks beforehand, has yet to catch up to Wonder Woman.
Right, but as soon as it hits DVD, Blu-ray, iTunes, there's the money.
Right. It'll make its money. It's going to make its money back.
I said it was a giant piece of shit. I stand behind it. It was a giant piece of shit. I still pre-ordered it on iTunes. Do you know why?
Because it's a superhero movie?
Because it's a superhero movie and I'm a nerd. That's what I do.
That's pretty much what I'll be doing too.
Right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, this movie is not making as much as they wanted it to. But what the Warner Brothers studio execs don't realize is that the problem is not with any of those creative people. I don't even think Zack Snyder was the problem. It's them. It's the studios. The studios. Have you read the Zack Snyder cut scenes from this Justice League movie?
No.
I highly suggest you find the list of the scenes that were cut online. Because when you read it, you go, oh my gosh, that makes total sense. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. There's a lot of scenes in there that tied together Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, that gave the characters a lot more depth, which was one of our main problems, is that the characters were not developed enough.
Right.
There's an entire scene in Atlantis that explains Aquaman's whole reason for going back to Earth to fight Steppenwolf. That was cut from the original cut. Like, all of these things that they cut would have made the movie 1,000 times better. And that's why you have these petitions of people who want to see this cut, because it sounds amazing. And it ended with Darkseid coming. The problem is, I don't think they're going to release it.
I don't think they will either. And I also don't like the fact that a lot of people then were throwing a lot of crap at Joss Whedon, saying, oh, well, it's his fault that these scenes were cut. And it's not. It's the studio.
It's legitimately the studio said, because the studio, after, the criticism that they got, said, we need to change everything. Joss, you need to change everything, and put him in a box. They decided that this is not going to be a setup to Justice League 2 anymore, so all you've got is Steppenwolf. So good luck with that. And he did what he could. He did the best that he could with what he had, but none of this, the lack of success or the lack of critical reception or fan reception to this movie has nothing to do with the creative forces behind it. It is solely on the studio exec's shoulders, and they don't see that. But they just fired a bunch of people, for lack of a better word, to try and fix it. But what they really need to do is say, you guys do your vision, do what you need to do, and let it go. That's what Disney does with Marvel, and that's why Marvel is good.
Right. The other
they have a plan.
They're the other thing I noticed too, two movies that were missing from this as well was Black Adam and Man of Steel 2. I need another Superman movie. I was fine with the way we left Superman at the end.
It's not going to happen.
Of that, and I need one.
Also, a scene cut from the Zack Snyder script of Justice League is Superman in the black costume.
Yes, I know
going
they made
to
that
the Batcave to get his red and blue costume.
I know
what the hell?
I know that they had that because Henry Cavill tweeted out the picture of the suit.
Yeah,
like the up close picture. Listen, it comes down to this.
We saw the scene in the trailer.
I know. It comes down to this. There are some shakeups happening with DC. I really hope that this is stuff that's going to be steps in the right direction. As you said, they're trying to get their footing again. They really are trying to fix this. They understand that they're taking off critics and fans, and they're trying to course adjust. I hope it's enough. And have we heard anything out of Flashpoint? Have we heard anything about? Do we have a director? Do we have a script? So listen,
no, just that it's happening, and that Ben Affleck is that'll be his last.
Yeah. Ben Affleck's
his last
leaving.
shot at Batman for the time being, unless he changes his mind again.
That's okay.
Also cut from the Justice League movie was a scene of Flash saving Iris.
Yes.
I'm sorry, these scenes keep coming back to me.
I heard that's because they were recasting her.
I don't care.
Okay. All right.
It would have been nice to see Flash actually do Flash things.
Yes, it would. I didn't mean to end with trashing on DC, but I'm glad to see that this is something that is no longer exclusive to me. I'm happy to hear that.
Well, I'm actually you didn't shit on him as much as I thought you would, so I'm a little proud of you for that.
I'm learning. All right, as everyone knows, I love to go on the internet. I like to find the weird. I like to find the obscure, and then of course I ask for a tech perspective. One of the things that stopped a lot of people.
Boop, 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 boop.
2 bits.
One of the main reasons that people have a hard time switching from iPhone to Android is they don't want to be one of the green bubbles.
Why would you ever want to be one of the green bubbles?
I don't know, but you're one of those people. But thanks to a 16-year-old developer, Roman Scott, that may not be the case for very long. As long as you have a Mac, there is a way to keep you connected with iMessages on Android. It's called iMessage. And it's using this really clever back-end system to go ahead and allow you to stay connected to iMessage. Again, provided you have a Mac. I think it's pretty cool.
And the Mac is turned on and logged in. Like otherwise.
Okay, so actually, I'm sorry. So here's how it works. You're absolutely right, Josh, because you have to actually install a server application on your Mac.
It has to be fired up and running.
Yes.
So this is not like
a good thing for a desktop
thing.
Right.
No, like you need to be. This works when your Mac is also turned on.
The other part too is that the API that he is using to do this is, well, he's kind of breaking the rules. So I don't know how long it will last.
Breaking the law.
Apple's going to catch up pretty fast.
Oh, of course Apple will catch up to. The question is, how long can he just kind of run around and keep using different...
At the point you're listening to this podcast, Apple's figured it out.
It's probably already dead. But listen, it's interesting because, I mean, I'll be honest, that is one of the main concerns when people are talking about switching their phones. I have some people say, yeah, hey, I have an iPhone now, but I probably want to get a Samsung. I was like, hey, do you do a group chat at all? Are you in any kind of group chat? Oh, yeah, for my fantasy football league, and I have one for my family. Great. You will break that. So you will just cut you out like entirely. Like anyone that gets an Android
phone, you'll be
phone,
gone. Yeah.
You'll just be, I'll never hear from you again.
You are a total pariah.
I figured you went off into the ocean and you're in international waters and I'll never see you again.
Much like a leper.
Just you and your volleyball. Like a Wilson. Like a leper. You did a good Heath Ledger there. That was good.
You're welcome.
That was good.
If there was a way to permanently get this, right, to actually stay on iMessage, even if you had an Android phone, would you consider, not saying do it, would you consider an Android device?
No.
Still wouldn't.
What the hell kind of question is that?
I would.
You're talking to two people who are completely
that is
Apple
the worst. That is the worst thing you've ever said.
If this could run on a Pixel and I would have guarantee I wouldn't lose iMessage, I would totally try out a Pixel.
You are out of your goddamn mind.
I'm allowed to get 3 phones a year, and I would just do it for a couple months. Just try out the Android life, but stay with iMessage.
Why?
I'm saying
It doesn't work with anything you own.
Yeah, it does. I have total ways to make it work with everything I own. iMessage is the biggest problem. Is the biggest obstacle.
No.
I agree with Josh.
But Josh, here's my other question. Since we're talking about breaking ecosystems, Microsoft's Edge browser has officially come out of beta and is available on the App Store. Now, I know that the challenge I laid to you to use this as your default web browser does not come into effect until after football season. But I heard that you tried it.
I sure did. I installed it. It lasted all of about 3 minutes, and then it was gone. Gone. It's essentially Internet Explorer, and it's on your phone, and it's fucking shit up. It's not. You know what's funny is the same day that I installed that, there was a paid app, a browser called Puffin.
Yeah,
that was free that day. So I installed it. This is the fastest browser I've ever used in my life. I've never seen anything load this quickly.
Was it the Pro version or the regular version?
The Pro version was free for like a day.
Okay, it's $3.99 now, but there is Puffin web browser, and that is free.
Yes, that is free. This is an incredibly fast browser, and I like the settings. Like when you first set it up, one of the questions it asks you is, do you prefer full site or mobile site? And I always opt for full site when I can. Yeah. And it's just a toggle. It's a really easy toggle. It's not buried deep in menus anywhere. It's actually really cool. While it's fast, what it is not is at all intuitive. It just doesn't feel right. Like loading bookmarks and retrieving things is wonky. Internet Explorer is unusable. Edge is unusable.
Are you still committed though to trying it out after football season is done? I
am very hesitant because it is CJ. I'm not even sure.
Here's what I did. I booted up my Windows PC that I have because I had to fix it. Which, by the way, fixing a Windows PC, I almost threw it against the wall.
Yeah.
But I got it working, and then I was like, you know what? Now that I have this Windows PC up and running, I should try out the Edge browser. And I did the same thing. I was like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, wow. This is really rough.
Like I would sooner use, I don't know, anything. Like I would sooner use Chrome as default.
I was gonna say I would rather use Firefox than I would.
I don't have
Edge.
Firefox installed, but yeah, I mean it'd be that.
I would rather use Opera as my default browser.
Oh, Opera's so terrible. I don't know, man.
I use Netscape.
Netscape Navigator.
Alta Vista.
We're throwing out the super nerdy stuff. If you don't know what these things are, you probably
I would
have
use
a
potato. A potato to browse the web.
Carrier pigeon to browse the web. So listen, it comes down to this. Third-party browsers on any phone are always really rough. And there's more choices on iOS right now than I care to mention. I brought it up because it's officially out of beta, so people can try it if they want to. But I really brought it up because I need to know if Josh is still going to do the challenge. So you're a soft maybe, but I think you respect the fans enough that you'll give it a try this time.
I will give it a try, but I am not committing to 72 hours. I can't do it. I mean, it's a fucking nightmare.
All right, it is time for that kind of nerd to do. Why am I keep saying it's time? It's not time. It's just now we're just moving on to a thing.
It's time
to
say
that it's time. It's not time to do screen to screen. It's not time to do Cape Talk. It's not time to do Tech Perspective. It just is. It is this.
It's that moment. The moment has arrived.
It is time. It's time for that kind of nerd to give a topic, product, movie, or whatever the third degree. It's called the nerd degree. And we'll decide whether it passes or fails.
Josh, this topic in the nerd degree this week comes from you, and it's right up your alley. And I need a little more education on this, but Verizon and NFL have now put out a new streaming deal that will bring their games to all mobile carriers. So I'm confused.
Well, first, this didn't come from me. This came from you. You posted it in group chat, and I immediately went, no. Here's why. It's a streaming deal that is going to take advantage of several streaming services to bring you games. Now, right now, if you want to stream NFL games, your choices are the NFL Network, right? So you can do that for free on a Thursday night and some Saturdays because they do Thursday Night Football Saturday edition. So Thursday and Saturday. You can stream Sunday Night Football from NBC Sports. You can stream Monday Night Football on Watch ESPN. But the rest of the games on Sunday, right, unless they're being aired out of market, you can't stream them.
I thought this was, though, just on mobile. You couldn't watch any NFL game on a mobile device streaming at all if it was not on Verizon's network.
So Verizon has NFL Mobile, and that is exclusive. However, I mean,
because I had CBS All Access, right? And I was wanted to watch a football game on my phone, and I was told that I could not watch it on my phone.
That's
correct. Had to watch it because I have T-Mobile.
Laptop.
I don't have Verizon.
Laptop, yeah.
So I could stream it on my laptop. But now they're allowing people to do it on their phones.
NFL Mobile is exclusive to Verizon.
Right.
But this isn't just about the Verizon deal. They're using a bunch of different services, including Yahoo and others.
Well, it's still about Verizon because Verizon owns Oath, and Oath owns Yahoo, Yahoo Sports, AOL, and Go90.
So the real problem here is that I still don't have a single source, right? And I'm still not going to be able to get all the games. From Sunday at 1 p.m. through Sunday at 7:30, right? When the games start and end, there are on most weeks 11 to 13 games, and it depends whether there's bye weeks or not bye weeks, but 11 games in that time frame or 13 games in that time frame, one or the other, right? And then you also have the Thursday night game, the Sunday night game, the Monday night game, rounding out the full 16 matchups for 32 teams. Now, all that said, those 13 fucking games are important. And right now, I can't stream that shit unless I have NFL Sunday Ticket from DirecTV. So that's a problem. And this still doesn't solve that problem.
And on contrast, right, you can stream all the MLB games, right, through one app, one service.
It's actually my favorite. It's my favorite sports package. The MLB at Bat package. Is $110, and you get 162 games from 28 teams, 30 teams. I can't remember. 30 teams.
Sports,
sports. But you get all the games for $110. NFL Sunday Ticket, CJ, is like $360 a year.
Yeah,
and it's 32 teams playing 16 games, and of those 16 matchups per week, you get a maximum of. A maximum of 13, and that's if you're not somehow don't live in a single area that's blacked out. So it's more likely 11 to 12 games maximum for that price. MLB has a much more cohesive package. It's available on all media. Right. Like I go out of town, I'm in a hotel,
watch it anywhere on any device.
And there's they've got some rando game on the TV in the bar. I put my iPhone up and I put MLB up and I watch the Yankees play on my iPhone at the bar, and I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, and I agree. This is just more fragmentation, right? The fact that you have to watch Yahoo Sports, Go90. By the way, if you're using Go90, I should probably talk to you a little bit and talk you off that ledge. And this is something that's going to affect a lot of people because a lot of people are cord cutters. A lot of people are, just like you said, traveling and want to watch this on their phone. It's nice that they're, at least breaking part of it up, but you're making a bigger problem than a solution.
It is a bigger problem. Brian, we haven't, but like, divorce the sports watching from this for a moment and just give me an opinion based on the move that's being made.
Based on what you just told me, I agree with you.
Okay. As a jockstrap, this one is thoroughly urine soaked.
And again, I want to remind everybody that every week is the same unit of measure. So I agree that it's a jockstrap soaked in urine. And I think it's a jockstrap soaked in urine that someone forgot about over the weekend.
Oh, that's rough. That training manager or whatever, equipment manager, he's getting fired.
Yep. Brian?
I'm not as familiar with the state of jockstraps as you guys are.
Live a little.
one heavily urine soaked jockstrap that was run over by the thing that paints the lines on the field. I don't know.
But that's not going to make it worse.
Yeah,
You don't know that.
Well, wait. Hold on.
Smell.
Wait. Think about this. Think that through. Brian's jockstrap, you wouldn't be able to know it from sight because now it's all white. You would pick it up and be like, "Oh my god!" And there's a scorpion inside. It would be bad.
A scorpion So Brian has served us up a scorpion inside a urine-soaked jockstrap.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
I'll
right.
stick with that.
That is the standard.
I don't know
unit
why
of
this
measure.
is hard to understand. This is what we do every week. So just get used to this unit of measure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and wrap up for today, I do just want to let you know a couple of items surrounding the release of our episodes around Christmas. Just to let you know, episode 131 will be coming out Tuesday, the 26th, to give you time with your family.
Yeah, we're not going to be your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work on Christmas. That's ridiculous.
Yes, we are not going to be your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work around the Christmas time. So enjoy that time off. We will be back on Tuesday, the 26th. For episode 131. I just want to again thank you so much for being such amazing fans. Thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we will see you all next week.
If you love comics and sci-fi and technology, television, video games, and fantasy, well, take a listen to our show. I'm sure you'll see there's many points where we can agree. Like that Martha as a plot point was just too absurd. And Apple versus Android is a case to be heard. And that Josh Trank's new Fantastic Four was a turd. Well, welcome to the club, cause you were that kind of nerd.
I've lost all my hosting abilities this week. I don't know what's happened to me. I don't know what's happened.
Did you sign a contract to like some sea witch that took your hosting abilities away?
Absolutely. Those poor wretched souls, poor unfortunate souls, just stuck with my abilities.
Ursula.
The Little Mermaid reference. You're welcome.
Maybe my wife will listen to the show now that we've made a Little Mermaid reference.